So you get to move to Boise, Idaho, and the cost of living is nothing compared to what you're used to. Or you're coming from an area that's maybe a little bit more cheaper than Boise, Idaho, and you're like, what the hell is it so expensive there for? I'm going to tell you the honest truth about the cost of living here, why it's erupting. And we have some factors that are making it very difficult for locals to even afford to live here. So I'll be talking about the bills, a lot of unexpected costs that you didn't know about Idaho, and really dissect and break down every single section of Boise so that you can find not only your perfect lifestyle, but an area that you can enjoy that lifestyle. So you're not working all the time. You really get to become an Idahoan. And if you want to know exactly how much it costs and all of those unexpected costs, well, we're getting after it right now. What's up, everybody? This is Jackson Wilkie with the Living in Boise channel. If this is your first time to this channel, you want to learn everything about what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, play, and just how much it friggin' costs to live here, make sure you tap that subscribe button. Click the little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. And we are honestly getting phone calls, there goes my notes, emails, texts every single day from people moving and relocating here, and we absolutely love it. So thinking about moving anywhere in the Treasure Valley, make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Days, nights, weekends, we got your back when moving to Boise, Idaho. Let me retrieve this paper real quick, but while we get started, what I want to do is I've broken this down. The national average is an even 100. We're going to rank Boise right alongside of it. So obviously the apparent home values are starting to just go through the roof. I can tell you what the median home prices are today, but by the time you're watching this video, maybe a week later, they could have gone up 10 grand. That is how fast things are growing here and how you really need to have a calculated approach when moving and relocating to Boise. It's no longer just coming to Boise and finding a spot. Like, you have to actually build a dream team and get your ducks in a row to move to Boise. So with that even 100, we're going to start breaking it down. The first thing that comes across is groceries. So groceries come in at a 93.8, and the national average is 100. So it's considerably cheaper for groceries here. I'll tell you right now, we got, major grocery stores. We're getting more Costco's. That's where I spend like $80,000 every week, I'm pretty sure. I can't stay away from Costco. I love it. But you're going to see a lot of our grocery stores here. In fact, Albertsons, not only is it just a staple to Idaho and basically the Northwest, they are, centered right here. They have huge islands, I shouldn't even be saying it, on the Snake River for hunting, fishing, but they pump a lot into the economy. I will tell you flat out, yes, Albertsons are everywhere. They can be a little bit more difficult to get in. The lines, I don't know why they're so long in Albertsons, but they actually have a new one here, and they kind of took the recipe out of like the Whole Foods in the new seasons where you can go in, have some beers, they got food and all that. So it's here down in Boise, they got some of that, but it's going to be right there on par. But we don't have like in the Seattles or the Portlands per se, where it's all those Whole Foods and it's a ton of new seasons and all those really fresh organic plants and foods. You will see some of it here, but our lifestyle is as active or more active than anywhere you'll find in the world. So that's what's really cool, is you're not going to have as many of those Whole Food stores and stuff, but we got all the organic produce. And I mean, we got 185 different commodities of farming right here in Idaho. So you got plenty of those organic plants, but just understand, you're not going to have as many Whole Foods, but the groceries come in a little less, and health costs actually come in at 91, and the median health costs in the nation, they're at 100. So we are quite a bit more affordable. Both North Idaho and South Idaho, lived in both, grew up in both, got family in both. They are starting to get pretty busy with all of the relocation here. I mean, yes, Boise actually has a lot more hospitals and more room because it's quite bigger, state capital, but they are, underneath. They're 10 points lower, 10% lower than the national average. And you do find some top end, doctors, physicians. That's one thing. We're getting so many of them moving here for the lifestyle and getting out of, certain areas. So you do get top notch. It is more affordable, but just understand sometimes it is packed and busy in these hotels, especially with times, like COVID, where they got to turn entire floors into COVID units. Idaho didn't quite get the memo as much to wear masks. You'll see it pretty freely around here, but at the same time, it makes you tough, right? Being Idahoan. Health costs are lower. Utilities come in at 90. National average is 100. I can tell you right now, utility bills. The thing about utilities is some of these warmer areas where you're running AC units, for 6-7 months just blazing, you can really get away with, you're going to have to heat in the winter. That's one thing. Maybe, and it's not as prevalent down in Boise, Idaho as it is up in Coeur d'Alene, in North Idaho. But we had wood stoves up the yin yang up north. And that's all we did was cut firewood, cords of firewood, and we heated. I mean, that kept our heat bill down in the winter times. But that's really going to be our peak here is heating. Obviously, with the not fuel pumps, but the heat pumps, you can have AC and heat, but keeping that down. Some of the new construction homes are a lot more efficient. You'll see spikes in the wintertime, maybe on bigger homes upwards of like $200 or something, maybe a little bit more, but it really doesn't get any more than that. And then during the spring, the summer, and the fall, it's pretty much optimal climate. You're really not going to run much heat or much cool. I like sleeping cold, so we're not going to crank that heat up during the spring and definitely in the summer. And a lot of times in the summer, because I grew up without AC, that's pretty typical. At night, it gets so cool at night, you can actually blow one fan in one window and blow it out another door. And at night, it will cool the whole house down. And then, you shut all the blinds, you shut the doors and stuff. So through the day, it stays cool. And don't get caught leaving that door open, man. Dad'll have your ass. But that's one way that we just kept the house cool. And the last thing about power, being in areas like this with just incredible river systems, you got a lot of dams, so a lot of hydroelectricity. We're shipping out power all over the place, down in these areas as well. So the one thing I want to mention on utilities before I jump off of that is internet. Idaho internet is pure hot garbage. It is getting better. Oh my gosh, so much better in just the past few years. If you're going to be working from home, you need internet, you better reach out to us. We need to place you in a spot, because I used to have internet a couple years ago in a good area that if two people were on Netflix, would that mean nobody was on Netflix? We had to make sure we went all the way around the house and turned all the computers and stuff off and TVs so that we could watch Netflix as a family, because I got my kiddos and they're watching all these shows all the time. So just understand, and it's not going to cost you much here. I mean, it's like $60, for high speed, but you really want to make sure you get that high speed if you're going to be leaning heavy on it. And it is getting better all over, but just understand these small towns, man, we're trying to play catch up. And so with traffic, with roads, with internet, that stuff is starting to come. But you're really going to want to reach out to us to make sure we get you in a good spot. All right, and the average fuel price, I mean, it's really been staying pretty steady for the past few years. So right in that like low twos, 220, 230, 240 a gallon. Really hasn't been much change there. Don't know what's going to happen now. Definitely not going to get into politics. That's like where I don't go, but things could change. But as of, early 2021, we're seeing, what we've seen the past few years, $2 a gallon, $2.25 a gallon. So what I want to do now, this is the important part, right? We've talked about the cost of living, some of those unexpected costs and internet stuff, but I'm going to jump over to the map. I need to show you these different areas, all these pocket areas, and show you all the different lifestyles and why some areas are way more expensive than others and where you can stretch the budget, or if you want like that can't miss area, top everything, top schools, close to things, like where those are. So let's jump over to the map. All right, so here we are on the map. I actually was able to find a housing cost of living heat map. So this is really going to start showing you all the different areas of Boise, which ones are more expensive, but we're going to walk you through why some of these are showing that they're way more expensive, but you can actually get some pretty good deals in them. So first and foremost, you have Boise. I mean, this was it. You had Boise, and you'll see Garden City here, but basically this whole, North Boise, Garden City, this is the original growth. So Garden City's like, if you want that 100-plus-year-old home, that is your quintessential area. North Boise, that's like the areas that's really close to downtown. I've talked about this a couple times in videos, but these were areas, they were just older homes, right? And not really that nice, but lately have just really caught fire in the last decade or so, because everybody really wants to be close to like the shops, the restaurants, the bars. And so like these are starting to boom. So it does show, it's right there at the national average. Some of these little outlying areas of Boise are still old, and you'll see some not affordable area or more affordable areas. Sorry. But yeah, just understand, some of these older homes in here bring up that average, but Boise's usually, when people are moving and relocating here, they're rarely ever seeking out just Boise. And that's the thing. Like, that's why it's so important that you reach out and have these conversations with us about lifestyles, because Eagle is a whole different state than, Nampa is, or Caldwell. So, you can really mess up your time here. But you can notice right here, here's the, the Boise River cuts right through. So that's why Eagle is one of the, if not the most expensive areas that you will find in Boise. If you want the absolute Boise, Idaho lifestyle, there's a lot of trees, there's green, that river dissects right through town. You can live right next to it. You can walk paths along that. It is unbelievable living, but you're going to pay for it, right? There's a couple different styles of living in here. If you want to go maybe 800,000 up to $1 million, there's these brand new contemporary super modern homes, and they're right along the river. So I mean, it's almost like living in a ski town, resort town, like living up Sun Valley. So you're right along the river. You have those paths, incredible, top ranking in the nation schools. That's going to be Eagle. It is the can't miss area for families and even like retirees and younger professionals even too. I mean, it's really, you're going to see a lot more like families and even retirees there because of just everything you need. Golf courses, bunch of golf courses. You have not only those brand new contemporaries, but now you have like the 90s homes, the bigger ones for families, right on golf courses. And then you have the 1970s, like split level homes. So there's a bunch of different stuff, and Eagle has its own little downtown quaint, and as soon as you start heading, like the old downtown here, and you start heading up into the foothills, I mean, this is all mountains and hills here. So really gorgeous. But this puts you right, the Boise Belt, comes in. This is all a big valley right here that looks down into Boise, and you drop right into Eagle. So can't miss. So Star, why this is showing that it's one of the most expensive areas, is, well, it's close to Eagle. So yes, even the suburb living is a little bit more expensive, but it's really not. There's some pockets in here that now gets you close to the river, close to Eagle, just to the north of Meridian. So you have some great suburb living. But Star, the cool thing about it is up here, like where it's showing these, this is where you can get your 2-acre, 5-acre home, 10-acre home. And a lot of it, like people are like, Jackson, Shawn, hey guys, we want like some acreage. We want to be close to town, but we also don't like really want cows and chickens and stuff, or we do, but we just want our space, right? That's what you're going to find up here in the northern part of Star. You have State Highway, that carves through here, and all the north stuff. Man, you talk about 5-10 acres, and yeah, it could be 700,000 or only 900,000, maybe $1 million, but you'll get like 5,000, 6,000 square foot home on 2 or 3 acres. That's beautiful green grass, and you have all your space, and you just dump right down into your school districts here. The Eagle Springs High School is more right in the middle. It's a super highly rated high school, and it's over in this area. So Star is going to be more expensive because you get way more house and acreage. And then, yes, some of the suburb living is a little bit more expensive than you see out this way. Obviously, the farther you go out, the more expensive. But Middleton will be almost the same, as Star. Middleton's got a cool little quaint downtown. It's going to put you pretty far out. But if you need to hit to the 84, like it really puts you close over here. The average lot size in Middleton is 0.7 acres. So if you are like, I got to have my space, Middleton is going to be a great area for that. Again, these lots are 0.7 acres on average. So you're going to get, 1, 2, 5, 10, 20 acre lots. And that's why it does show it a little bit more expensive. But in relative to space, like per square foot or, lot size, it's going to be super affordable. Obviously, the farther we go out. And there are some iconic areas out here for like 2-acre, get a 5,000 square foot home with an RV garage attached to it. You're right next to a golf course. You have the cool little Middleton downtown. These are great schools too. All of them have great schools. I would put my kids in any of these school districts. So schools are not an issue. Obviously, Eagle Springs, like nationally, is ranked the highest, or one of the highest. But man, some of these schools out here are just fantastic too. So Middleton, get your space. You'll see just working out. The cool thing is, I mean, you take the state road. These are only like 20 minutes removed. I mean, you haul ass all through here. It's like 20 minutes, if that. So you really get to enjoy what you have in Star and Eagle. So once you get to the Middleton Caldwells, you're not going to have the shopping. You have your grocery stores, small, like Ridley's or something, and you'll have a smaller grocery store, small little downtown with burger joints and stuff. But like, you just want your space. We get a lot of Californian relocation, and they're like, hey, I just want 5 acres. I want to be close to stuff. And this is, we find them little horse properties, over here, or just get their acreage. Caldwell, and the other thing I want to mention about Middleton and Star, if you have all the toys, the RVs, the jet boats, the side-by-sides, motorcycles, you can get houses out here it's super popular all over Idaho, but with the RV garage attached to your house. So you'll even have a 2-car garage and then a giant RV garage. It's just awesome. Even if you want a car lift, I've seen houses with a car lift in it. So if you have a couple different cars, you can lift one up, drive another one underneath it. So Caldwell is a lot like Middleton, but it's the farthest out to the west. So you're going to find a lot more affordability. There's actually some living down here, and you can reach out to us, be like, hey, because you can drive down this valley along the river, and you actually pop over this hill, and then you have kind of a whole view of like Middleton, Star, and there's like 2 acre, 3 acre chunks in here. So you have your big back patio, your fire pit, all the space in the world. So that's just all lifestyle. Caldwell really is about the same as Middleton. You're going to get your space out there. There is some suburb living, you know. I mean, if you want to really stretch that dollar, get into 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom homes, you know, you can find those as well. But for the most part, when people are wanting to head out these ways, they reached out to us. They told us their lifestyle and everything was more like, hey, I just want my space. And so that's what we find. We want 5 acres. I do want horses. I do want goats. I want chickens, or I just want all space to get away from people. Nampa is the fastest growing city in the nation. I can't even freaking believe it. You know, growing up in North Idaho and then coming down, we used to take, you know, I-90 over through Spokane, come down Washington. We'd come right through here, and there was nothing here, nothing. And you drove through Nampa, and it was just a smelly farm town. That was it. Now it's the fastest growing. As we're going to talk about these ones here, Nampa, and I haven't even been mentioning home prices, but just per se, like the Boise area, Ada County is $435,000. And Eagle, you know, you're talking $615,000 median home price. Star is $451,000. And as we start getting to like Middleton's $340,000, you know, Caldwell is right around there too. And then Nampa is actually growing. It shows super affordable, but it's got a median home price right now of about $340,000. So, I mean, this is being recorded early 2021. This stuff is changing every week. In all of these areas, there's like less than a couple hundred homes, 200 homes for sale right now. That's how many people are moving here. And so it's just going to continue to drive these prices up. But you also get into these homes. I mean, you're going to build equity within weeks. I mean, if in 1 year's time, you're going to have a lot of equity in that home. So Nampa is awesome. Okay. You can have your suburb living right in the neighborhood. You can also live with 5 acres. You can live right next to cornfields. You also have Lake Lowell. So there's actual golf course living right here. Like here's the boat ramps and stuff. There's a big golf course right here. You can have a 5-6 bedroom home on the golf course looking at the lake in like the $500,000-$600,000 range. So a lot of new construction. This whole area, if you want to be close to the lake, you like boating, you like golfing, and you don't really need to be anywhere close to downtown Boise, I would highly recommend reaching out to us and helping you find, you know, this southern Nampa area. North Nampa is where we're going to see the most growth. So Meridian that's what made all of this happen, right? There was Boise, and these were all just little dots on the map. And then Meridian got the giant shopping center, the huge village. And to Idahoans, that is life. I mean, having a freaking movie theater and stuff that you guys coming from bigger cities take for granted, that was ginormous. And so all the suburbs blew up right here. There's not much left to build. So obviously it's going to Nampa and building. So North Nampa is all fields. Like this is where we're going to see the growth as we connect, you know, kind of Meridian, North Nampa, all that area. So this is going to be an area that really, really starts erupting. There is shopping, Costco's, all that stuff. Now it's self-sustained. Back in the day, Nampa had nothing. You had to go all the way into Meridian or Boise to go shopping. Now all your major shops and stuff are right up here by the 84, so you'll have everything you need. You can be completely self-sustained down here, and you know, Caldwell, you can trickle right down into here as well. So in Nampa, this is one of the fastest growing. Yes, today, early 2021, it is $340 median home price, but that's going to start exploding and erupting. But you're going to definitely get a great bang for your buck. There's a lot of older homes here too. Northwest Nazarene College, some of that stuff. If you're an investor and you want to buy some homes, you know, to rent out, that's something to reach out to. Shawn is an absolute specialist. And I want to mention Lisa too. She's in a lot of our videos, but she is really good at finding space and acreage. And a lot of the stuff is not for sale, but she pounds the phones, and she has so many connections with builders and with a lot of these people out here with property. So she's on the phone all the time finding stuff that's available well before it's ever available. She's even selling horse properties out here right now. So we have the all-encompassing team that will help find this house, even if it's not available. But Kuna, this was an area I can remember even when I was going to Boise State, like I would cruise down to Kuna because now you get closer to the Snake River and stuff. This is like when everybody wanted to move out of Boise and get their acreage and their space, Kuna was the first one to see the growth. So This is a lot more country living. It's a lot different than the country living up here. This is tucked into the mountainside, the hillsides. Kuna, you get more. It's closer to the snake. It's a little bit more country living. And so, yeah, you're starting to see where people have more space. That's why it's a little bit more expensive than these, because you're going to have the acreage. And whenever you do that, it's just the median home price goes up a little bit. But there are, smaller homes. Kuna is just a little town, quaint town. And so if you really want, space, and now it's location, right? Because we can get you space up here and it puts you closer to where you need to be. Or we can get you space down here, but it's going to be lifestyle, your jobs. You have zero idea what one of these areas will feel like. And that's when we, take you for a tour, and you'll drive through and be like, nah, I just don't feel that. I don't feel that. Oh my gosh, this is it. We get it. And by having these conversations of what you like, what you need, we'll know 3 or 4 little areas that are pocketed in these, spots that we can't talk about or show you, but we know we can drive you right in, and oh my gosh, here's your 2-acre spot right on the Caldwell Middleton area, on a golf course, but you get huge shop and all that stuff. You would never know that without asking us. So that's what we really fancy ourselves on, is lifestyle. And then Meridian, I already touched on it, but the cool thing about Meridian is you're not going to have a huge fluctuation in price. Like Nampa, I mean, you can have your little homes that are built in the 50s, 40s, that are just older, right? And then you're going to have this giant home over by the lake that's $1 million plus. So there's a lot of difference in some of these areas. Whereas, and even Middleton, you can have a smaller 3-bed, 2-bath house closer to downtown, or have 20 acres. There's just so much difference in each one of these. Meridian's like your just typical suburb. I mean, we could take you in all these. A lot of them are just going to look the same. Huge parks, really, really top-end schools. I would say up towards North Meridian, there's a new Costco in this area. There's some Toll Brothers new construction neighborhoods, and they're stretching up to the 700,000-800,000. But for the most part, I mean, 400 to 600,000 is just basically what you're going to find in the Meridian area. And again, finding the home is almost the hardest, or is the hardest part. And that's what, we reach out. We know so many people in these areas, and we're constantly, we know 3 or 4 homes that are coming available in the next 2-3 months that, we can get you into. So that is what's like so pivotal about us understanding relocation. And especially if you need to sell your house where you're at and move here, we can close same day. We have built the communication aspect up with our local lenders and everybody to where we're talking to listing agents, and we make this whole thing work and close. All you got to do is focus on getting here. So Meridian, you're seeing, the average price points in there. Like I said, you're going to be, just depending on size, 400 to 600, but not a lot of difference in there. But it is cheaper than Eagle, but yet very, very, very safe. Let your kids ride their bikes down to the park. You ain't got to worry about them. And that's really what these are. Super family oriented, and you have the biggest shopping center, the Village, right there with all your movie theaters. And so it's really cool. Meridian's is super nice. But we can find, if you want more space, or you want to not spend as much, or you don't want it as suburban, or maybe you do, that's really what we're the best at finding. So moving to Boise, Idaho is no joke. It's a feeling thing. You can't just pick a spot in Boise because it's so small and it works. It's not that small. It's spread out. There are 5 different lifestyles here, and you have to understand which one is yours so that you get placed in the right one. I've talked about it on so many videos. Moving to Boise, Idaho, or in Idaho in general, is if you don't pick that lifestyle right, you can have some long winters. It's just not going to be as great as you would think. So we pride ourselves on the relocation. I've done it. I've moved with 3 kids. It's so difficult, but yet not only do we help you find your perfect spot, we get you into that home. With less than 150 homes available for sale, it's almost impossible to do this alone. You worry about getting here. We take care of the rest. We absolutely love it. The only way we can help, you got to reach out. You got to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Days, nights, weekends, we got your back when moving to Boise, Idaho. And until the next video, guys, we'll catch you later.